So I saw this, and I thought it was interesting. Taking a nap, just kind of like laying down and just catching a few winks, may not only relieve stress, it can lengthen your life and maybe even fight off dementia. Now, I know that sounds like it's a panacea of things that everybody is trying to do in life, but it is a possibility that if you regularly nap, there is a chance that you can not only live a healthier life, you can also live a stress-free life. Now, I thought this was a little interesting, so I contacted someone, and thank goodness she's on the line with us right now. I contacted Leigh Richardson, who is she is a brain expert, if such things exist. She runs the Brain Institute in I believe it's in Houston, Texas. Anyway, I wanted to get Leigh on the horn here today to talk about this because it seems too good to be true. It seems like maybe I shouldn't be doing this show. Please save the comments. And maybe taking a nap. I don't know. We'll see what Leigh has to say. She's standing by to join us right now. Leigh Richardson, how are you on this glorious day?
I'm great. Thanks for asking.
Well, I'm glad you're here. I'll tell you why. I saw this thing about napping, and I'm thinking to myself, if I take a nap, 35, 40, 45 minutes, couple of hours, that I'm not going to go, crazy later in life. I'm not going to suffer from Alzheimer's or dementia. And then I thought to myself, if it was that easy, then there wouldn't be any Alzheimer's and dementia. So is it that easy?
Well, I don't think it's that easy. I think that for a long time, we thought that napping is bad for us because it messes up our sleep schedule. Yeah. If you take a nap during the day, then you can't go to sleep at night. So I actually don't think it's that easy at all. I think that the brain is so complex and such a fascinating organ, and it's so different for everybody. Some people get by with 4 or 5 hours of sleep and say they wake. Some people, I've read research that said 7 hours. That's the answer, 7 hours. So I think we all just, what's right for us.
Well, I think the other thing here, too, that and maybe this was the gist of it, and it just got folded into, hey, take a nap, and you'll have all your marbles by the time you die at 95 or 100. It might be just stepping away from what you're doing on a daily basis and taking that 10 or 15 minutes and meditating or just quiet time or just something that relieves the anxiety and the stress that you might be experiencing in life. Now, I'm not playing pop psychologist here, but that's what I got out of it.
Well, I think you hit the nail on the head. It's just giving that brain a break. I mean, those neurons and dendrites are wiring and firing all day long. And sometimes, and Microsoft did a good study in the beginning of the pandemic that showed, when you're constantly on those Zoom meetings, what it does to the brain. And then they looked at it, if you just took a 10-minute break between Zoom meetings, how much better the brain could operate. So, the only way that the brain has a chance to rejuvenate is to give it a break.
Yeah, I mean, and it's common knowledge. If, for example, you get ready to go to bed at night, and you'll brush your teeth, you wash your face, you do all of that, and then you hop into bed and immediately start doom scrolling on your phone or on your laptop or you're watching television, the brain doesn't know what's going on. Hey, wait a minute, we were getting ready for bed. Now we're doing that. I think that goes hand in hand too. I think these portable devices and maybe watching the latest cable television show may not be the best thing for the brain to decompress over a course of 4, 5, 7, 10 hours, however long you sleep. I think that's important too.
I think it's very important. And you've got to think about the frequencies that are coming out of these little portable devices. And when you're holding that phone right up to your ear, where are those frequencies going? They're going right into the brain.
Yeah, they are. I wish those people would stop talking to me. I just hear these voices and these frequencies at night. I gotta start meditating in the afternoon, Leigh. I gotta start doing that.
Try it. You may be surprised.
I might be surprised. So what you're saying is don't necessarily take a nap. Just take some time away from what's going on, and that probably will help you. If not live longer with all your marbles, it'll certainly keep your marbles intact for a little bit longer than what they might not.
And you'll get through your day with a much better spirit.
I love that. Now, there's another thing that's out here, and I wanted to get your opinion on it because I found this interesting. But most adults that run around this country should be routinely screened for anxiety even if they don't have symptoms. This is a task force study. Now, I don't know, this is the U.S. Preventative Service Task Force. I don't know what that is, but it sounds important. What about that? Do most of us have anxiety and we just don't manifest it?
I think most of us do at some point in our life. But I think it's excellent that people are starting to recognize mental health is just as important as physical health. And we constantly are pushing your annual exam. I mean, can I have people come in my office and they want to talk BMI, body mass index, and cholesterol? And I'm like, oh, how's your brain working? Yeah. And they look at me, like, I don't know. So, I mean, I think the more awareness that we can create around brain health, mental health, that's a great step in the right direction.
Yeah, I mean, it says here it should start at age 8 and go right up to 18, but in particular 12 to 18 to see exactly what it's like and if it can be addressed early on if there is a problem. And I think that folds into a lot of things that we're seeing now about depression, anxiety in preteens and teens. So I think that would be terrific. Where would you go to get screened for anxiety, though? Where would you go to a psychologist? Where would you go?
Well, see, and I think that's kind of the trip up in the statement. But yeah, let's say it. Yeah, everybody thinks it's a great idea. Where do we get it done? Do you get, if you're 8 to 12, do you get it done at school? Or do you get your pediatrician to do it? It's not that hard to do. So it can get done. But then I can imagine a lot of parents saying, I don't know where to take them.
Yeah.
Yeah. And honestly, you don't have to take them anywhere. If you're a parent, you know your child, talk to your child. Yeah. Look for behavioral changes. Look and see if all of a sudden they're having trouble going to sleep or staying asleep. Yeah. Look and see if their diet's changed. If all they want is junk food now. If, they used to love to take the dog for a walk and now they don't want anything to do with it. Look for behavioral changes. Yeah. And those are red flags.
Yeah, not necessarily in a toddler, though. I mean, I would say once you get into 8 to 10, that's probably one, because kids under 8 are going to go through mood changes anyway, right?
Well, in kids under 8, the brain's not fully developed enough to really process a lot of different emotions. So I think, kids that young just need constant supervision with their parents and conversations. How you doing today?
Right.
How you feeling today?
Right. Parenting has become something of a chore, it seems like, and not what it was intended to be all those years ago when the first man and woman, I guess it was Adam and Eve, begat a couple of kids. And that is, you're supposed to raise the kid. You're supposed to make sure that the kid is okay and not just have a television set or a cell phone or somebody else raise him or her. I mean, you've got to be involved in these kids' lives or you're just asking for an inordinate amount of trouble.
I agree with that statement.
Good. Well, you and I are simpatico here, so we don't need anxiety treatment, and we're both going to take a nap today, and everything's going to be good. Leigh Richardson, it's always great catching up with you. You stay well, and we'll do this again down the road.